This box right here is 43 pounds of vintage lenses shipped from Japan in a mystery lot. There were some pictures, but I don't know exactly what's in here totally and in what condition. And I'm gonna see, after all is said and done, if I can make a profit off of these. We're gonna need to move to the overhead cam for this. Okay, this box is so big. This is the overhead camera setup I'm working with. It doesn't even fit in the shot. Okay, like I said, I do not know what is in this box exactly. There were some pictures. Okay, already I can see some really good stuff. Okay, this was the stuff that I was seeing in the images that really excited me, this Minolta stuff, so we'll look at that. Got a bunch of other nice vintage stuff over here. Some of them are for stuff that I don't even know if I have cameras to mount them on, but I'll do my best to test. Shipping to get this 43-pound box from Japan to the United States was about $120. So that was a lot of the money for this lot that went into that. I'll put the total of what I paid for this whole lot up at the top of the screen, and then we'll just tally as we go what I think I can get for these lenses. We'll just start with the smallest package. Okay, super excited about this. I wasn't sure if there was going to be any Pentax lenses in here, but I do see a Takumar, Auto Takumar. So this looks like an earlier version. This is a 105 2.8 lens. So still fairly desirable today. I see these. I actually have not shot one of these before. The focusing is stiff but works, and the aperture is not clicking. Oh, it is. Aperture is also stiff. Okay, so could use some oil probably. The glass though looks super clean. That's an important aspect with lenses, is they can get fungus inside or haze or some other imperfections, and they basically need to be totally disassembled to be cleaned out. It can affect image quality. So really good to see when I see clean glass. It looks like this earlier model sells for maybe around 80 bucks. So probably less, obviously, given this condition. Okay, that's a really good start. Next we have this Yashica 50mm f1.9, a nifty 50 lens. Focusing is free. Aperture blades are working. I'll show you what I mean by that. You change the aperture and you can see all the blades are moving. The glass is a teeny bit dirty, but actually in decent condition. The mount's actually kind of gross. It looks like in good condition, this might sell for $40, so not a big ticket item. And then we already have such a big variety of lenses. So now we're on to a Minolta Roker. How do you say that? This is a 35mm wider, which is pretty cool f4 lens. Focusing is smooth. Aperture is working beautifully, but it doesn't look like it has any major fungus. I need to clean that up a little bit. That could be some fungus on the front element. If any elements have fungus on them, the front is the best because it's super easy to clean. You just need a little tool called a spanner wrench. I have a video about it, but you take that little piece off that ring, get to that front element, glass element, pop it out, clean it, and put it back. So it is a little bit of a procedure, but that is the easiest element to clean by far. Looks like the price of this one varies between 40 to 60 bucks. And then I'm a sucker for Pentax, so just seeing this makes my heart super happy. I did not see any Pentax lenses in the actual images, so that's cool. This is a super tiny, I've never had this lens before. So Auto Takumar also early. It's got the silver with the black ribs going on here. That's kind of the distinctive Takumar look. And this is a 35mm f3.5, and it's tiny. So I've owned a 35mm f2 Takumar lens, and it was much, much bigger than this. So you can see just how small that is. So these Auto Takumars worked with auto aperture, so you do have to watch this pin in the back and this little piece over here, and that's gonna control the aperture. So if your aperture is not changing on one of these lenses, just play with those two things and double check. Okay, a little bit harder to find this exact model. There's several versions of this lens, but looks like, I don't know, between 60 and 80 in great condition. That might be a stretch. So, oh, by the way, here's that original lens cap for this Takumar. That's so cool with the silver. So we're 4 lenses in, just a reminder of what we have to go through still. All these lenses are super well packaged. Really happy about that. I was worried, not just with the rain, but just shipping so much heavy stuff overseas. Ugh. Looks like whatever the lens this is, like maybe an old Sigma, the rubber stuff is really coming off. So much so that's getting on the bubble wrap. Yep, it is a Sigma. I can tell they just have this unique kind of, it's kind of ugly. I don't know if that offends anyone. I think it's kind of ugly, but 80s, 90s style. Okay, I don't know what mount this is, but a 70 to 210 millimeter zoom in bad condition. This is not going to be worth very much. Let's do one of the Minolta boxes, shall we? Because these looked great. I didn't see these other lenses that we opened up so far, so we're doing really well. But what I did see in the pictures were these Minolta lenses, which I was excited about. What's great about these is I actually have a Minolta camera, a DSLR to shoot them with. This is one that's coming up in an upcoming video a couple months from now. I don't know when you'll see it, but great camera. So I'll actually be able to try these, might keep some of these. I'm excited. So here's a 50 millimeter macro. This almost looks brand new. Oh yeah, look. New. Okay, it's not going to be brand new because somebody slapped a UV filter on it. Oh, it's in beautiful condition. There's some dust on the UV filter, but the glass itself, super nice. For what an incredible lens this is, these are actually really affordable. So I'm looking at some good condition ones for $50 on eBay. Also, you'll notice on the screen, I'm putting different numbers than what I'm saying. That's because you don't actually get the money that eBay tells you, right? You have to take off money for shipping and their huge fees, which are like 13% now, and et cetera, et cetera. So you always just cut off a big, like 20% of that. Okay, we'll stick on Minolta since this one's just sitting there taunting us. This is a really special lens. So this is the very first autofocusing reflex lens or mirror lens, and I'll show you what I mean when I open it up. We have the box, we have a beautiful case for it as well. It's a case inside of a case. So if you've never seen a mirror lens, they're wild, or reflex lens is what they're called as well. There really is a mirror in it, that's why they call it that, and it gives it a very distinct out of focus blur look. That kind of looks like donut bokeh is what people call it. The advantage of these is being able to get such a compact package. So this is a 500 millimeter fixed f8, so you can't change the aperture. It's always f8 lens, but look how tiny it is. So that's the advantage. There's some optical questions. I've actually tested another version of this exact lens and found it to be optically really good. So it's a really cool lens. And like I said, the very first autofocus reflex lens, I think there's only one other out there. It was also made by Minolta for the Vectis mount, and since then, nothing else. So I think these are the two autofocusing reflex lenses. There might be some new ones for mirrorless potentially, but that's all I know about. So you could drop in little teeny filters into the back of the lens, and then you wouldn't have to have a massive one on the front of the lens, which is cool. Looks like this one you can get, I don't know, between 150 and 200 bucks for. 200 is probably stretching it, but really cool lens. All right, let's open another mystery bubble wrap. This one has two lenses in it. We have another Sigma 70 to 200 something something. This one's in much better condition. Nothing's rubbing off of it. So this says Minolta on the back, so I'm gonna guess that this is, oh, I guess we can try it. This is a Minolta A mount lens. It is indeed. These Sigma super zooms with slow apertures aren't really worth that much, but it looks like on eBay, maybe 30 bucks, 20 bucks for this good condition one. That's okay to have a couple of those smaller lenses, that's fine. I just want these big ticket lenses too, and we're doing okay. This is a pretty lens. I was immediately enamored by the metal hood. Metal hoods are so cool. This is a Nikon 105 millimeter f2.5 lens. So it's a Nikon. Let's see if I can. Okay, it's squeaky. Let's check out the lens itself. Aperture clicking wonderfully. Yep, look at that. Look how big and bright that is. Focus is turning smooth. This is a beautiful lens. Some fungus in it, so that's going to affect the price for sure. It affects the image quality as well. That's why it affects the price, but sometimes I just keep them and shoot them with them anyway because of how cheap they are, and it just depends on the severity of the fungus and where it's located in the lens and the haze and stuff, how much it actually affects the image quality. So, and like I said, if it's in the front elements, I just clean them myself. It's not that difficult. If it's in the rear ones, that's harder. These rear groupings of lenses are often cemented together and extremely hard to clean. So it's looking like the haze or fungus that I'm seeing in here, I don't know if you can see it, is in the rear. So that's unfortunate. And I missed this earlier, but this is a Nikon P. So I don't know the Nikon series of lenses that well. I'm more of a Pentax person and some other systems, not so much into Nikon. But looking it up in good condition, these can get you close to 200, like 150. Obviously, this is not at all good condition as far, because cosmetically it's fine, but just the fungus or the haze that we have going on the back does include the hood though, so that's a nice include. If you have these hoods, especially these earlier lenses, that does add value, so that's nice. That's a super solid find though, a beautiful looking lens. Here's a large vintage lens. Usually these kind of super zoom lenses, like I said, unless they are fast aperture, don't fetch a lot of value. But let's see, Tamron 75 to 250. Okay, this is cool. I've actually never owned an Adaptol lens. So this was a series of lenses where basically the lens itself was universal, and then you'd attach a little adapter at the end to attach to your SLR mount. So this is cool that this comes with it. It looks like I said, I've never owned this before, but there you go. Here's the Adaptol adapter for the Minolta MD. So that itself is worth something. Let's see what that's worth. Okay, just this ring is worth maybe 10 or 15 bucks, so not very much. And then yeah, the lens itself is maybe 20 or 30 bucks. So another not high value lens, but still kind of a cool find. It's okay to have those low ticket items. We just gotta have the big ticket items too. Zero idea what's in here. Oh, a little, this is a 50 millimeter. This is a Ricoh 28 millimeter f2.8. These are actually good lenses to adapt nowadays. I've adapted a lens, if it's not this exact lens, one very similar. Focus ring, super smooth, great condition, aperture, nice and clicky. So this is specifically the Rikonon, or however you say that, P series, and I don't know much about that at all. I have no idea what that's for, but it looks like there's only 2 listings on eBay. One is 100 bucks, one is 40 bucks. It's not for M42, maybe Pentax K. Got 2 pretty vintage lenses in here. This one is a Minolta 200 millimeter f4.5, and this one is, oh, this is actually an Olympus 75 to 150 f4. Look at that. I love slide out hoods. Both of these seem in very workable condition. This one seems almost brand new. This Olympus is maybe 20 bucks, and this one's maybe 20 to 40 bucks, especially in this great condition. Let's go 2 more. These look like more modern lenses, modern-ish. Oh yeah, a Canon. You know what's funny is I don't own any Canon DSLRs, and I owned one a long time ago. It's been a long time. Here's a 90 to 300. I basically know nothing about this. UCM is that newer ultrasonic motor. This is a nice surprise. This is maybe 60 to 100 bucks, especially. This is really good condition, it seems like. And then this is also Canon, so they just packaged them together. Oh, this lens is full of fungus. Do you see what that looks like? Yeah, luckily, once again, front element, so much easier. It's the front and then the one underneath it, so easier to clean, but it's there nonetheless. This is a 70 to 210 f4, no UCM. Okay, it looks like in good condition, this is maybe a $50 lens, maybe a little bit more, but especially with all that fungus, it's gonna be way less. We'll do this nice silver lens next. This is a Tokina 1 to 300 millimeter. It's got some maybe fungus. It could be just on the outside, which would be nice. Yeah, it looks like this is not a big ticket item, especially with the fungus. I'm not gonna be able to get much out of it. Got what looks like some standard primes. Ooh, maybe a Pentax right there. A Takumar. Super Takumar, so a later version. Also no silver, so that's part of it. Super buttery smooth focus. Awesome aperture clicks. I'm loving the Takumars. I'm hoping for more Takumars. This is either some worthless zoom lenses or some really chunky primes. And I'm excited to find out. Okay. What on earth am I looking at? So this is a Nikon Q 200 f4. What is going on here? It's so chunky and then so skinny. So it's got a pull-out hood. That's cool. Unfortunately, some massive fungus in there. Oh yeah, look at that. One of the front elements though, so somebody could take this on. I don't know if I will. If it's worth something, I might clean it, but unfortunately the back looks nasty as well. Okay, in good condition, maybe 100 bucks, but this one's in horrible condition, so not at all. Let's see if we can get some gold in here. Hey, Pentax. This is actually a decent lens. Looks like the window for that part broke. That's unfortunate. These have power zoom, so you just twist and it. Oh, nasty fungus. Is this gonna be the fungus bag? What? am I looking at? I don't know if I've ever gotten a lens with that logo on it before. It's kind of interesting. So this is a Sun Auto Tele Zoom. I've definitely heard that name, but I've just never seen that logo on a lens. And not nearly as bad, but still Fungus in there. Not excited about that, but I am excited that we could potentially be done with the Fungus. This also looks like a Fungus bag. So this is a Nikon D lens. So this autofocuses. It still works with some of the newer DSLRs. It just kind of depends on which one. There's minor fungus on the top. A lot of that's just on this UV filter, but there's some on the lens itself. Unfortunately, some in the rear element. So that kind of stinks. But that might be something I might just use myself and just, you know, I don't have a super zoom for any of my Nikon cameras. Looks like in good condition, maybe 60 bucks, but not in this condition. All right, Fungus bag, what do you have for me this time? These are some weird lenses, man. What on earth happened here? Oh, a Takumar. Oh, this is so pretty. Look at that huge, nice tripod collar mount. Oh, these are so cool. This is a 200mm f3.5 Takumar. Take this off and inspect the glass. Oh, this one is clean. Oh, it looks so good. We might have a clean lens here. Aperture, a little whiny sounding, but why does it have 2 aperture rings? I'll have to check more about the condition on this one, but this one could potentially be another $100-ish lens, maybe. Okay, that felt good after all the Fungus. I don't know how I feel about these lenses. This one zooms just fine, focuses just fine. This is another Adaptol. And in this case, for Nikon, so cool. Might actually be worth something once again because it is including the Adaptol adapter mount. Okay, let's open a box next. We haven't opened a box in a while. Nikon F 35 to 135. Silica gel in there. This could be a new lens. Beautiful lens with the box and everything. Not worth very much. Maybe $50. We'll do another box. This is a 100mm f2.8 Minolta macro lens. Has the hood, a little bit of wear on the grip just from age. Glass looks beautiful. Yeah, especially in this condition, this is probably $100. All right, this is the last bit here. This is actually, Sony gets its names from. This is actually a camera body. I don't know if I knew that when I bought it. Okay, it's got some serious deterioration on the bottom. Oh, this looks like battery corrosion. I bet there's some nasty batteries in here. Okay, besides that, super futuristic SLR. Okay, I need to do way more research on this because I'm Googling it and it's actually kind of hard to find this model on eBay. I'm seeing the A9, but I'm not seeing the A9XI. But potentially, if this works, if I can clean it up, worth a couple $100. This is a huge find. I didn't notice this until now, but on the bottom of the box for the camera, Barcelona 92 Olympics. Okay, one last chance at fame here, at the glory, and I think I'm doing well. I haven't really been adding the prices up in my head that much, but I'm sure we're well above what I paid for this, which is good. Oh, this is beautiful. This looks like legit leather. Do not know what this is. Oh, Nikkor Q L39 mount. Beautiful lens. It's actually in really good condition. There's just some dust on that. What looks like a filter at the front. Yeah, maybe worth $50. I'm trying to Google it and it just depends on the version. I'm not really sure yet. That other bag was the Fungus bag. This is the leather case bag. It's kind of funny they shipped them out that way. A little bit of something there. This is a Sigma Zoom A3 35 to 135 for Canon. Yeah, even with the case, maybe $20, not worth a lot. Okay, that's it. You can see the totals on the screen. I think I did really well. Of course, I got to now go out and sell this stuff so I can recuperate some money. Let me know the favorite item that you found and if you want me to continue this series, and I'll catch you on the next video. Happy snapping.